Hello, fight fans. I know you guys are super duper stoked. So, let me tell you right now, we have got, in addition to the two titans of Patrick and traiLZ, we have two legendary commentators. Let me tell you, we have Elendar and Marai here. You know, the same Marai who's going to be participating in the weekly, right, Marai? And on tracking, you know it's always a party when we have Royale with cheese. So let's get our pom-poms shaking, let's get the hype train going, and we are gonna have one heck of a party. You guys, Elendar, Marai, take it away!
With that great introduction, how could we not be excited? And these great runners. We've got traiLZ, who, of course, former tournament champion, player of roughly 50 Zelda 2 seeds a week. And then Patrick, who managed to fight back from not making the brackets in the previous tournament, won that invitational tournament, and then pounded his way all the way into the finals here. So this should be a close race and an exciting one because it's game 3. It's the last race.
Yeah, this is it. It's whoever wins takes it all at this point, and I'm sure traiLZ is thirsting to get that belt or the trophy. I believe it's a trophy this time, maybe a belt as well. We'll talk to Alan Heffley on this one, but I'm sure Big Pickett wants it as well because he, like you said, was unable to make it into the brackets in the standard tournament last year, and so both good runners, and we'll see exactly how this plays out.
Yeah, I think Patrick is actually the one who manufactures the trophies, so it would be very convenient for him if he won.
Yes, it would.
Save on shipping costs, right?
Precisely.
And here we go, we're off, and it's a pretty kind one. 3-3, fairy spell to start, and we've got a candle. But our little twist here that we roll is that New Kasuto and the hidden palace that is normally Palace 6 are both forced hidden. So our runners will be looking for the hammer and the flute, potentially.
Yeah, I completely missed how many gems we had there. I was looking at candle and cross start.
Yep, we're on 3 gems, 3 lives, and a pretty kind amount of starting life.
Yeah, so we will see if that hidden palace, hidden Kasuto actually comes into play here. Could be not. We'll as all things are Max Rando, we'll have to just simply traverse the terrain and map it out as we go.
Yep, and of course there's the hammer, so that's one of our 2 hidden locations already in logic for our runners.
Pretty much a free seed here, simply 1 minute into the race.
Yeah, obviously.
It's already over.
Nothing that could possibly go wrong in Z2R.
We did have Saria south of start. I missed what the starting spell was, what the spell there was, but we were on the backside. Yeah.
We've got Fairy, but it is not castable.
Okay, that's right.
It's 72 so far, and we got some islands. That's gonna add a little bit of annoyance right off the start.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of having to work with islands, at least in the beginning of a game. If they're made too easily too early on, it just kind of defeats the purpose of the challenge that the biome itself brings.
Definitely. And Patrick picking up Magic 2, a decreased in cost from 72 to 68, but still not enough to actually cast Fairy.
Speaking of 72 to 68, that's about how many hits it took to kill that red Dyra at that attack level there. Jesus.
Yeah, attack 1 not looking particularly strong here, but 1-ups in the I believe that's the large enemy pool. And just deciding a jump. Little sad to not be able to pick up down stab once you're there, but
yeah, I was gonna say I'm sure we're looking at getting some magic levels here and then getting that down stab so we can get into get into gear here.
Yeah, well, I mean, with how free the seat is, at least so far.
Yeah, pretty much the next step is get down stab and beat it. That's pretty much
right. Yeah, get down stab, find a palace, and clear it.
We got a little bit of divergence here, except Big Picket is, okay, so is he going to go west or is he going to go south? He's going to go west. Okay, so here's our divergence. Maybe not. Just kidding.
No, it's just taking a look at the bridge and being like, but neither of these paths are free. Pretty annoying enemy sets in this one.
Yeah, I think Big Picket's background is like structural engineer. He didn't really like that bridge going west, so he's going to go south. Another cave. Grass tile there at the bottom of traiLZ's screen. Can't get to it from here, though.
Yeah, it's so far just a bunch of paths that lead to pass through caves and more paths. Ooh, small keys also in the small enemy drops. Man.
What a forgiving sea. We've got all the utility everywhere.
We'll see if either our runners decide small keys being in the pool is enough for them to do an early palace dip, especially, if you have the expectation you'll be able to cast Fairy soon.
Yeah, very true, very true. And if Fairy stays expensive, then keys in the drop pool, always a nice thing to have. Here and there, you're going to be able to get through doors without having to waste a bunch of magic.
Yeah, man. Blue jars also in large enemy pool. traiLZ finding another item here in Heart Container Cave.
An item he hopes, at least, could be nothing.
Yeah, we didn't start with that many items. We've got a couple heart containers, candle, and cross. So we're looking at 8 small items in the pool. 1,000-point P bag is technically nothing, but I'm sure it's a welcome sight.
So Patrick finding the other side of Saria here, west to find the raft, and he's going to be picking up the spell as well.
Yeah, pretty likely that's going to be our way off of this continent at this point. traiLZ taking an up A.
Do we have a castable fairy at this point? Yes, we do. Oh
wow! Not only castable, but I didn't check if was that above or below 32.
That was 33, actually.
Oh, 33, just barely not too cast.
Yeah,
still not too bad.
Yeah, nothing to complain about this early on. 1 magic container, and you'll be able to cast it twice. Although that magic container may be far and away at this point in time, but eventually they're likely going to find another magic container. And it's nice to have that. If fairy sits above 40, then that's where you're going to need that 6th magic container to be able to cast it twice.
Patrick looking at 3 or 6 and deciding against it, maybe? Looking for a level up.
Yeah. Wants to make friends with the Red Iron Knuckle statue here.
Attack 2 not looking too much better than Attack 1 was.
Very nice experience for an average experience seed. We've got 150 on Red Dyers. We've got 200 on Red Iron Knuckles, at least on the 3, 4, 6 Palace pool. And 1,000-point P bags just kind of lying around. Someone leaving their big money bags sitting around on the floor. So we're going to see some pretty good level ups, even with only 3 gems here.
traiLZ continuing to exhaust our supply of minor items with just a small key.
Yeah, so we're missing
1,000-point P bags also in the drop pool.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, this is going to put both of the runners in very comfortable positions. I don't think any sort of combat. This is what kind of diminishes like a more raw or more experienced combat player like traiLZ. If we have to do some low-level combat, I think traiLZ would have the edge here. But with 1,000-point P bags kind of just dropping and found in the ground everywhere at this point, we're going to see very healthy levels across the board, and that's going to keep Big Picket just neck and neck with traiLZ, I think, in terms of combat.
Yep. And traiLZ making his way into this 3 or 6. It's definitely with castable fairy and keys, and man, it's going to be Magic 4 pretty soon. Patrick finds the raft and takes an up A.
Yeah, so the only cave we have left at this point, I think, is Magic Container Cave, if I'm not mistaken. Medicine Cave. I was mistaken. It is Medicine Cave I think we're missing.
Okay. traiLZ taking attack 4, figures 1 cast of fairy is enough that he doesn't need to mess with it anymore.
Might have been hoping for 1,000-point P bag there as well. Might have just been taking that gamble.
Yeah. But that room just giving him the loop.
I like that. The room's giving him the loop.
Hey, it's sometimes you're going down and you're like, oh man, this is gonna be, just like the Eon drop. It's magically gonna take me to exactly where I want to be, and then you go through it and you're like, well, that was just a waste of time.
Yeah. We're kind of seeing the same. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. It's very similar to the last race, and I don't mean to spoil anything, but hopefully you're caught up if you're watching this live at this point. Where traiLZ was always kind of a few steps ahead of Patrick, and that gap widened as the game went on. I wonder if we're kind of seeing the same thing here, although there could be any twist along the way. We're seeing traiLZ early into this dungeon. No glove there, so there is a bit of a block. So that might have been a waste of time. Coming back to what I'm talking about here, that gap might not be as wide as we think it is at this point.
Yeah, that's there's cost and benefits to making early dips like that, and definitely not having access to the glove is a big one. traiLZ's gonna skip that one up because we're gonna see an upping in about 10 seconds here.
Yeah, Patrick was going to get down stab. I thought that might give him a little bit of an edge here moving forward with traiLZ in the palace, though. I thought he was going to have a bit of a lead with that glove block. So we are back to exploring. Although there were 2 other palaces around here, they must be somewhere around here. Did we see anything other than that one palace so far?
This is the only palace we've seen. The way forward has got to be, I believe at this point, it has to be through one of these pass-through caves.
traiLZ going to be picking up his down stab, while Vic Pickett is going to be grabbing the spell in Raru. I don't think we've seen any other useful hints at this point, just Raft on the west, although they would have found that as it is.
Yeah, so far everybody else doesn't know anything.
That's pretty typical of the denizens of Hyrule. Kind of clueless as their surroundings.
Yeah, the Hyrulean education system, not nearly what it used to be back in the days of Zelda 1, where people would kind of mostly have a hint that was semi-useful in what approximately resembled English.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going west to find the hammer. Thanks.
Our tracker Royale with Cheese pointing out that the medicine is in the east if anyone's going to be grabbing it and coming back for a jump. We might see that. We have a shortened GP in this flag set, so I don't know. There can't be that many waffle rooms or rooms that we might need jump for, so we might see that passed up here in this particular race.
Yeah, that P bag that Patrick picked up started with a 1 and a 0, and then ended with nothing else.
Ouch.
It's just big casino on which P bag you're going to be getting today.
Yeah, go big or go home. Still no real progression. We still haven't seen a raft tile. We don't even know what the other 2 palaces are here.
Yeah, Thunder in Rudo sightings, so theoretically could be requiring ourselves a trophy. That's also in the east.
I saw traiLZ pass up a P-bag there. That could have been the 10-point P-bag that he gambled on.
Yeah.
Or it could have been a 1,000-point. I'm not sure. The rotations are going to be the same between our runners. For anyone who's not familiar, we do have a standardized drops flag in the randomizer program itself, which makes sure that everyone sees the same exact drops at the same exact amount of kills throughout the entire game. So,
yep. We did see our third hint, which is that the flute is also here in the west. So that's going to be in Medicine Cave, or I believe Grass Tile is still outstanding.
Yes, very true. Grass Tile, yeah. Was that P2 or P5 we just saw on Patrick's side?
I didn't catch.
I think it was 5 because his reluctance to jump in there.
Yeah, I suspect if it was 2, he would be in it right now. You've got a castable fairy and at least 1 key we've seen him pick up. We've not found a way out of the West Coper. Both our runners did find the raft, and we have not seen the actual tile yet. So, unfortunately, the pathing around this west has been a big fat pain.
I was going to say, are we going to see traiLZ go into 5 and as we would expect, we do see trails going to 5. Maybe the boots are in here. Maybe this is the answer to navigating the West. If it is, that's going to be big. Or maybe it's just going to be a blue jar. Who knows?
Yeah, trails, his aggressive palace checking didn't pay off in the previous 3 or 6, but it definitely could here.
Yeah, just because we saw one glove block in another palace does not mean we'll see a glove block in any other palace, just due to the nature of just the randomizer.
Yeah, if we find an item, I mean, there's really, if it is true that boots are required to get to the raft tile to get out of here, which very well may be the case. There's only a couple spots left there can be. There's this palace, there's whatever the remaining palaces that our runners haven't found, and then there's Medicine Cave / grass tile. One of those two contains a non-flute item.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wasn't tracking. Did we see the backside of Jump Cave? We've seen the front of it, but I don't know if we've seen the backside of it yet.
I don't know.
Now that Fairy's castable, Jump Caves, if that's the direction we need to go in, then that's definitely in the cards right now with the castable Fairy.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure we've seen both sides of Fairy Cave.
Yes.
Yeah, but Jump Cave is still a little bit outstanding. So
okay,
Patrick, taking another egg and a recheck the south here. I'm not sure if there was anything down south that they hadn't checked.
Homer in chat pointing out we did see both sides of Jump Cave, but not both sides of Parappa. So that's interesting. Parappa being a pretty easy cave to check. I imagine we'll see that check very soon.
Yeah, I know there's at least one cave all the way in the northeast that is boots blocked. I don't know whether that's an exit to one of the caves or potentially a way out / medicine cave.
Yeah, it also could be that grass tile is boots locked as well. We saw that in the southwest corner. It looked like the mountains were blocking us from where we saw it from, but they didn't really get a good look to see if there was any other way around there. So Patrick is going to be jumping into this palace that trails has already shown us is going to be glove blocked.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we also know it does not contain a useful item.
That's true. It's got the pass-through. Totally forgettable item there, and the easy pass-through with the drop into itself there, just a P-bag sitting on the pedestal.
Yeah, so given the amount of exploration these two have done, it's actually looking pretty likely the progression's going to be here in 5, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's, with the amount of experience that's available, they're certainly at a level that these runners are capable of beating Guma with if he does show up.
Yeah, game 3 of the best of 3 of the grand finals. If you're not willing to go into P5 at some point early on, I think you're in the wrong spot in the bracket here.
Yep.
You had better be ready to do the worst of the worst things that the randomizer can throw at you.
Yeah, which of course means if it's going to be the worst of the worst, that as soon as we get that raft, we're going straight to Vanilla Death Mountain.
Vanilla shuffled Death Mountain.
Yes, excuse me. Regular Vanilla Death Mountain is just very bad. Shuffled Vanilla Death Mountain. It's got those old V3 vibes. And speak of the Guma, here we are.
Speak of the Guma. All right.
Trail's putting some aggressive work into him with those down stabs, but looks like it might be 2 hits to death. And that is
Confirmed.
the case.
Patrick did get life out of Saria. I think Trail's got life out of Saria as well. Might have to see. I don't know if he's got a key, though, to cast a life cast at this point. He might need to save that for Fairy.
Yeah, and after that first death, we're seeing Trails with slightly safer strats here.
Okay, Royale checking in with us and saying that no, Trails did not pick up life.
That's a very Trails thing to do.
Taking it slowly but surely here. Oh.
Got a little bit aggressive once Barba got low, but backs it off again, taking a hit.
Was that only 200 experience for killing Guma? 1,000-point P bags and all this other stuff in the mix here. Only got 200 for the big guy.
Yeah, I mean, they can't all be winners. Trail's taking an up A and leaving. I don't think we saw the item.
I don't believe so.
Maybe, yeah. And I know he hasn't checked the overworld quite as exhaustively as Patrick has, and maybe he's thinking, well, it could be somewhere else. There's still a palace outstanding.
Yeah. But it could also be boots locked. This could be the as I was talking about in the beginning, actually having to traverse the islands itself and having to deal with these pass-throughs. Are we going to see this is this Heart Container Cave? This Heart Container Cave or Fairy Cave for Big Picket?
Yeah, this is Fairy Cave.
Okay.
He took the drop and he's coming up around, which I believe just takes you back more or less to the start.
Yeah, I mean, this is where they were the first time they were making it throughout this continent here. They came down south, as I made a bad joke about Big Picket being a structural engineer and not wanting to go west. He's coming back up north now. There must be something up here that he feels is still remaining.
Yeah.
Or not.
Nope. Yeah, I think with the, trail's has still got a little more overworld exploration to do, but I think at this point, 5 has got to be it. I don't think there's anything else we can get to here unless both of the runners and us missed one of these pass-throughs. Here's Parappa. This is the pass-through I was saying we haven't seen the other side of. And based on where it is, this might lead down to grass tile. Ooh, the raft!
Look at that location.
What a weirdo spot.
Another islands biome here on the, or could be a river canyon.
Yeah, here. I think this is a canyon east.
Yeah.
And we've got this hidden swamp.
Interesting. I assumed that was going to be a town if it was going to be hidden.
I think.
Oh, is the shuffle still on? The shuffle must still be on with that flag set. Okay.
Yeah, I think whether it's hidden and whether it's the town are two separate shuffles, and for some reason, one of those flags but not the other is on here, which is actually fun because sometimes you can get palaces under that tile.
Yeah, or item caves. Well, I was going to say about 2 minutes ago that it was good to see that both of our runners are kind of clueless, it seemed from our side, as to where they were going. But now Big Picket has opened it up, going through Parappa Cave, through the hammer block exit and into the raft tile there. So we know where progression is, and traiLZ is jumping back into P5. I think the only reward he could get out of here is maybe boots. But if that's not it, then I don't know. Maybe a magic container will come into play later. That could be something that he might get out of here as well. I'm trying to think of anything else that might come into play. Maybe this is, well, we know the flute is on the west, so it can't be in P5.
Yeah, the boots or the glove would be the only two potentially required items that we don't already have some kind of hint for. Another 1,000-point P bag as a compensation prize for not getting progression.
Some philanthropist here in Hyrule these days, just leaving $1,000 just lying around everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous to go alone. So,
was that a fire cast from Patrick there that turned into Fairy?
I believe so.
I think that's what he got out of Old Kasuto. I totally looked away when
yeah,
Fire Fairy.
Okay, so that's going to give us a bit of a discount on Fairy as we get our magic levels up and catch what the cost was immediately. Okay. On the bright side, they didn't cost trail's that much time.
Blue jar prediction in P5 confirmed.
Yeah, and we're actually going through. That's I think our 4th or 5th of the minor items out of 8 that we found so far.
Yeah, so looking at this, Trail's looking around for progression at this point, trying to get off of this continent. He does have 1 gem placed, so that is still in his benefit. There are only 3 gems to place, though, so Patrick may be able to just completely ignore P5 altogether, and he'll probably do that by the looks of it, unless we're blocked again for some reason on this river canyon without the boots.
And there's the River Devil!
Very interesting.
Definitely blocking something.
All right, so Trails has found the east, just a few minutes behind Patrick at this point, so not too far behind. Again, with that 1 gem placed, could still be potentially in, slightly in the lead at this point.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to come down to how quick are the remaining available dungeons, right?
Yes.
Which if Patrick, finds very quickly here, like 1, 2, and 3 or something like that, some fast palaces that he can clear, then it's gonna help him catch up.
Speaking of 1 and 2 right next to each other, it looks like here.
Yeah, and I think he'd be crazy not to take a dip in here and at least clear it.
Yeah, we are very likely still looking for the glove at this point. GP, of course, we don't necessarily have to go back and do that 3/6 palace on the west. That was glove blocks. We can do, unless we find other glove blocks, but GP probably very high chance we're going to need a glove in the final palace there. Yeah, this is actually a glove block right here, if I'm not mistaken, for Patrick.
Yep, and he's out. So that's 2 glove block palaces so far. Let's see how 2 fares.
Yeah, and this doesn't seem to be specific. Like, the randomizer doesn't necessarily pick like a palace pool to throw glove blocks in versus another palace pool, because we've got 3, 4, and 6 in one palace pool, and 1, 2, and 5 in another. We've seen a glove block in 3 or 6. We weren't able to identify the palace just yet. And then we saw the glove block in 1. So we've got glove blocks across the board. 5 was open, though, as Trail showed us.
Yeah, at the very least, all of the important things were open.
Yeah, so I guess if 5 was to be... Oh. Loop confirmed there, right to the same elevator that is glove blocked on the 2 sides. I wonder if that's going to be our progression to Horsehead.
Was that a loop, or was it just the same room blocking him in 1 and 2?
No, you're right. We're in a totally different palace. I'm completely forgot that he just changed palaces.
Just the same blocking room in both of these palaces.
Speaking of the palace pool being shared, you will see those same rooms between each palace pool. That's how the randomizer tends to do it.
So it looks like the boss is going to be blocked, but we're going to get our item here, and it's the boots.
That's good. That's very good.
So 3 of our palaces have glove blocks. That trophy is going to give him thunder. Very worthwhile. So we need boots in 2 to get trophy for thunder.
Oh, Island's Death Mountain, it looks like there. So the boots are going to be useful for navigating that, assuming it's not a cave that takes us to Maze Island, and assuming we even need to go to Maze Island at all. We still have the palace in Death Valley that is unchecked.
Patrick thinking about New Kasuto, but deciding that he doesn't need anything there. I didn't actually check if he has enough magic to cast spell, but... Oh, and the River Devil was just blocking a nice little lawn to hang out in.
Patrick probably going to be grabbing a little upstab here, along with a hint. No, yes, we're going to check the wall.
Yeah. I think we've only found 3 of them so far, so there's still 1 outstanding.
Probably buried in Old Kasuto somewhere.
Definitely possible. I don't think I've seen an Old Kasuto hint check in a long time.
I don't even know what it looks like beyond what Old Kasuto looks like beyond the first building these days.
Yeah, it's not a quick check. Getting the hints out of Firetown, where you typically go right, but you can go left to get the hints. That doesn't take a ton of time because you're pretty much in the center. But yeah, in Old Kasuto, it's a bit of a trip to get the hints, and not a safe one either.
Yeah, speaking of the hints, Naburu here that trails us in, there's 2 other hints on the leftmost screen, Naburu being a 3-screen town, and you always have the option of leaving out from grabbing the spell in Naburu to go get those additional hints. Trails opting not to do that here in this seed. I don't think Patrick did. I don't remember.
I don't think so. So Trails is going to check 1 and then 2 in the same way that Patrick did, and of course find nothing. But we're rapidly, once again, running out of progression. Death Mountain hanging over the heads of our runners. Do we really have to do this?
Yeah, I don't know if we do. I mean, Trails has that P5 gem down. P2 was, I guess P2 was uncompletable as well.
P2 was also not completable. Yeah, it was behind that same glove block room.
It was just the boots available, and then that opened it up. So Trails is likely going to find that as well, digging into P2, I'm sure, right after this. Although he's walking out. Oh, he wants to keep his experience. He's very close to a level.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Okay, magic container for Patrick.
I think Trails saw that as well. He's got the same magic container count. Have we seen both Sunken and Risen P-Bag caves?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I think okay. Risen was early on in the continent. Yeah. Trail's taking one cave look into Death Mountain and being like, maybe I'll go back to 2.
Yeah, we're still missing the desert tile though, aren't we? Are we going to see maybe a 3-eyed rock desert tile block for the glove?
Could be. I'm somewhat surprised that Patrick is choosing to check Death Mountain here before upping back to the west and booting his way to the remaining 2 checks there.
Yeah, especially swinging back with the flute. You know the flute is on. Well, I assume he found the flute hint for the west there. Grabbing it out of the west, coming back, doing a 3-eyed rock check, and then hitting Death Mountain, doing all those checks, hitting up Maze Island, which is likely going to be based somewhere in this Death Mountain, the cave somewhere. Maybe he just wants a quick rock, though.
Yeah, it didn't take him too long to find the rock. And of course, it's completely useless, as is traditional.
Ah, the good old randomizer. Were you looking for something useful? Because it ain't here.
Yeah, no, it's in the last place. Maybe Patrick's just thinking that the likelihood of needing, with some glove block palaces and still no sign of the glove, from his perspective, Maze Island's looking more and more likely to be required.
Yeah, I almost wonder if he's thinking back to P5, though, having seen P5, having dipped out of it. I don't know if he's thinking, is that going to be open or is it going to be glove blocked like everything else I've seen at this point? Because he's only seen glove block palaces. He's seen 1, 2, right, and then 3/6. So he is definitely eyeing up the glove here. He wants the glove. He has this feeling that everything is glove blocked. So,
yep. Well, there's still the flute, one more outstanding item, and the 1 palace still missing in the west. Because we just found 5 and 3 or 6.
Yeah, that's very true. We've got the 1 in the west, 1 in Death Valley, and then whatever's on Maze Island. So those 3 last palaces are going to be our opposite 3 or 6, and then 4, and then GP.
Yep. And so Patrick continuing to look for Hammer Cave or the way to Maze Island. Trails is going to do the same. Again, I'm given how quickly you can get back to both the west and all the way to this Death Mountain entrance. I'm a little surprised neither of our runners got the boots and then upped back to the west to check those remaining spots. Maybe the thought is just, hold going back to the west as long as possible so that you can do it when you're going to go back and complete the remaining palaces. Okay, well, Trails is the first one to find his way to Maze Island. and missed that item. It was so quick.
That first, I was a magic container.
Okay, just a magic container. And the other 3 or 6 is going to be here on Maze Island. So I think traiLZ is going to dig this second item and then almost certainly head back into that palace and give that his best effort. And Hammer Cave, just a magic container, so not paying off for Patrick. Well, potentially not paying off. We still haven't seen. We didn't see an old lady check, so
that's true. We don't know how many. We don't know how many containers she's going to require.
Yeah, and I like this play from Patrick. Right, like it would take so long to come on out that you might as well utilize the boots. He's going to be able to find the grass tile very easily because he already put his eyes on it.
Yeah, this could be a big play right here. This could be the flute, and if it's the flute, then that means Medicine Cave is okay. I'll stop talking.
Just a pea bag from both runners.
The pea bag completely stifles the theory crafting at that point, so we'll just move on.
Yeah, the seed heard that we called it easy. It was like, no. You're gonna last location everything important.
All right, so we still have that grass tile. So, flute going to be in Medicine Cave, and then potentially 3-odd rock desert tile, because I don't think we've seen a desert tile just yet. Plus this third palace in the west we'll get a chance to see in just a moment.
Yeah, and I think I'm fairly certain at this point that boots required cave in the northeast that we saw is going to be Medicine Cave for sure at this point. Boots required GP.
So trail is showing us that this is P6, meaning P3 is going to be the palace that is near start.
Patrick making a smart choice to go back and pick up Thunder while he's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, this is looking like it's going to come down to a race to the glove at this point. We've got several checks left open. Both of our runners are going to do these checks. I wonder if Patrick is going to jump into P5 at this point.
Yeah, I think at this point, unless I'm forgetting something, between both of our runners, we have seen every overworld check, which means those gloves are definitely in one of these palaces.
Well, we haven't seen a spell tower check. I think we have spell doing.
Oh, that's right. We still haven't checked either of the items in New Casino. Now that I think about it, yeah, Patrick was there, and I sort of just forgot because he didn't even check the medicine count. He just came in and left.
Yeah, sometimes you make those hasty decisions, and then you think about it later. You're like, oh man, I don't know if I can get this. Like if she wanted 5 or 6, now it's in play. But if she wants 7, it's definitely not in play. Now you don't know if it's in play or not, and you're gonna potentially waste your time going back there if she wants more than you have.
Yep.
Musical instrument in the Medicine Cave, as prophesized.
Yep, and unfortunately confirmed to be useless. We have already found both of our palaces and all of our item caves on the east. And
well,
also
do we see the desert tile yet?
I think we did. I might be wrong.
I don't know. As a commentator, I'm supposed to be paying attention, but that's optional.
Rael, our fabulous tracker, confirming that we have not seen the desert tile yet, and may be seeing it right now. We have in fact seen it. Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, we did know that the medicine was over here, which just increases the likelihood that New Casino is going to have something useful, and that's where Patrick's heading next.
Yeah, and trail's finding Barba here. 37 minutes in, second gem about to be placed. He's probably not feeling good about this, but then again, Patrick, on his side, 37 minutes in, no gems placed. He can't be feeling good about this either.
Yeah, 37 minutes into a seed, if I'm up against trail's, I'm thinking, all right, where's the dot done? For a 3-gemmer. Ooh, and 7 required.
Wow, okay. Well, maybe we'll see Spell Tower, Magic Container into Basement Glove.
Yeah, just get a little vanilla action in here. Of course, Angry Larry still in Northern Palace as is traditional.
One day he'll rejoin us, perhaps.
I look forward to it.
As do I.
Trails easily dispatching the big old dragon, placing his second gem. Gonna get him life 6. Yes, life 6.
Gonna also walk it back in to see if he can find the item here in this area where Barba is.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that was a magic container that we guessed there in Spell Tower.
Okay, so that means the gloves are in the basement now?
There's about a 62.5% chance it's there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the odds are pretty good. There aren't that many items left to find.
Yeah, there aren't.
Most of our palaces we've seen so far have already been checked or are glove blocked, so...
Yeah, if this is the glove, then... Ooh.
Ooh.
Then never mind. I was going to say
does do the swag pickup.
Well, glove outstanding. Patrick he's got 5 potentially he's thinking about. We know it's not there. We've got the Death Valley Palace, which is going to be 4, or it's going to be 4, I guess, confirmed at this point. And then if Trails finds it in 6.
Yeah.
So it's 4 or 6 at this point. Yeah, that's it.
And if the glove was behind those 7 magic containers, that would have been just absolutely massive for Patrick, because his 7th magic container was in Hammer Cave, which Trails did not find and would likely not come back to until absolute last item. But yeah, every time we find an item in the overworld that's not the glove, that just puts Trails and his significant dungeon exploration further into the lead. But it could be anywhere, right? We could see Palace 4, and man, glove in Palace 4 is
yeah, glove P4 in Death Valley. To get there, that's going to be one of the last checks you do. It looked like it was just east of New Kasuto as well, so kind of hidden in that location. I don't think Trails has been over there yet.
Yeah, especially because I don't think Patrick has the Reflect spell, and so for him to go into 4, gambling on that being the glove, even without any possibility, is it would be quite the play if he did decide to make it.
Yeah, if I'm in Patrick's shoes at the 40-minute mark now, no gems, no glove, three palaces checked so far, all glove blocked. I'm thinking, oh my God, what is actually happening here? What is going on? And you're exhausting overworld checks, and therefore it's going to be in a palace, it's going to be in a palace that isn't glove blocked, and so we just keep digging at this point and guessing. This P6 is pretty big, it looks like, from Trails' side. He's been in it for a hot minute.
Yeah, I mean, P6 tends to do that, but sometimes you get P6s that are really branchy and forky. This one just looks really long. And it does look like we are going to see Patrick make his way over to 4, almost certainly.
Yeah, now he's got Reflect. Okay, I was going to say Reflect I thought was free because Trails has it. And so no, Patrick has Reflect. He knows where Death Valley is. He's seen the corner of the lava here. Yeah, here we go. Absolutely nothing blocking our way. Completely free. No trap tiles at all to get into into the volcano.
And Trails just leaving P6?
Smells like burnt dragon. That's, I don't know. I guess maybe he feels, did he see any glove blocks throughout all of P6 at all?
I don't know.
I think from his perspective, he still has some stuff in the overworld that's not been found yet. So P6 digging for him is ending up kind of being a waste of time, is maybe what he's feeling like at this point. It's almost like, the sunk cost fallacy. Do you just keep going because you have to? Or it's, do you just get caught up here wasting 15 minutes of your entire race and then it being a blue jar and it's like, oh man.
Yeah, traiLZ has decided instead to... Looks like he's looking around for where Hammer Cave could be, just looking at the geography, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so if the glove is in 4, this is going to allow Patrick to do a bit of catch-up, although with traiLZ not too far behind in overworld exploration, he doesn't have that many palaces left to dig. He's got the same palace information, so if he can't find it in the overworld, and he's not going to, he'll be back in the palaces soon enough.
Yeah, but at this point, it's looking a little bit scary for traiLZ's exploration potential in the future. You know, obviously he's 2 gems up, but if the glove is in this 4, then Patrick's gonna have his foot on the gas really soon. And if it is in 6, I mean, how long is it gonna be until traiLZ decides to go back and re-clear 6?
Yeah. Here's the item. Oh!
There can't be any more P-bags. There can't.
There's a paper shortage at this point. There's so many P-bags.
I think there actually can't anymore. They only started with 2 items and 2 extra heart containers, so there should only be 8 of them in the pool.
Wow, so that could have been, as far as we know, and I think we've done a good job of breaking this down here, it looks like confirmed P6 glove at this point.
Yeah, that's going to be real rough for traiLZ. Oh, Star correctly pointing out there could be removed hearts. There could be up to 2 more small items that used to be hearts, and at this point, I suspect they probably are. Because, well, there's got to be some items left in our glove blocked palaces that we know can't be the glove, but could be either a heart container or remaining minor item.
traiLZ now out of Death Mountain and into the grass tile there to see his P-bag. Probably going to be looking around for that final medicine cave. He didn't see Hammer Cave, I don't believe, right? Because he only... Did he get Hammer Cave? Did I completely miss all of that?
I don't know.
P4.
I don't think he did, but I might be wrong. I know Patrick has, but I don't think traiLZ found it. I know he did a bit of a look around for it, but I think he just looped back to...
He does have 6. He does have 6 magic containers. So yeah, the 7th one being in the spell tower. Yeah, okay.
Well, I think his 6 might be the one from Spell Tower. Because he's had 6 for quite some time now.
Oh, okay.
But Patrick, unfortunately, finding out that he needs to take a death in order to advance and uses his fire spell to facilitate a faster death.
Did traiLZ pick up fire at this point as well? I feel like I should have this information. I've just been trying to... I think I've been distracted by trying to theorycraft where the glove is and break down all these different areas and locations. And now that we're confirmed where the glove is, now we can talk about everything else the seed has in store.
Yeah, I don't think he picked up fire, but I think even at Magic 5, fire and fairy are pretty comparable in cost. I think fire is certainly cheaper, but not by a ton. It was a pretty cheap fairy this seed.
All right, so at about the 46.5-minute mark here, Patrick with his first gem, not feeling good on that, although we know that there's a bit of trouble on both sides of the race here, so he shouldn't feel bad, but he definitely does this late in, I'm sure, with just 1 gem down.
Worth noting, that confirms that you can complete 3 palaces without the glove.
There you go. Maybe we won't even have a glove block. That would be so funny. We're over here looking around for the glove, and we won't even have a glove block GP.
Yeah, because I would be surprised if traiLZ weren't heading for Palace 4 right now. We're going to take a stop to pick up this desert tile, but not going to find anything. Oh, that's right. He's got the medicine, but he is going to pick up upstab here.
Yeah, I missed correctly. I misidentified this town earlier. I said Death Valley was by New Kasuto. It's by Darunia.
Yeah. All right. I Patrick is unfortunately gonna have to hunt around to find the entrance to Maze Island. He did not find it before when he found Hammer Cave, but he has explored most of it, and there it is.
Yeah, so he's gonna look for both of the items here and not be the glove. He's gonna jump into the palace, and it's gonna be the glove. So
okay, that explains it. The extra magic container Trails had was in Maze Island.
Oh, there we go. That's
so Trails hasn't gotten the one from Hammer Cave, and also hasn't gotten the one from New Kasuto.
Okay.
So he'll be able to get his 7th no problem when he decides to make that check, which it looks like is going to be very soon. Patrick going to look for his 2nd item. Yep, he's going to do that before. And with the boots of this pretty well-positioned river, it's not a particularly difficult check.
Yeah, so Trails also, because as you point out, he got his 6th container from Maze Island. He's going to get the 7th out of the spell tower. Now come back at the basement. It's going to just be a key. We'll have to judge if he does a swag pickup or not. And then he's going to be off to P4 or P6. He's going to be out of locations at that point. Or Hammer Cave, I guess, is still on the table for Trails.
Yeah, I think it's very likely that Trails is going to go to P4 next. And if he does... he's not going to find his glove, but he is going to be able to complete the palace. Will Trails take the gamble on gloveless GP? I've seen him do it before, but I know he doesn't like it. But if you're 50 minutes into a 3-gemmer, it may be gambling time.
That's a tall order on the final game of the grand finals for a tournament. I don't know. This is not like a meme casual race where you're just like, whatever, I'll take a huge gamble. This is for everything. So I don't know how much gambling we're doing here.
Yeah, I don't think it's likely, knowing Trails and also it being a real gamble, but it is possible. It's the sort of thing that can pay off absolutely huge. Like, if you decide to do that and glove isn't required, you will almost certainly win the race at this point.
Yeah. Oh, here's our item. Here it is.
Oh man, Patrick found that so fast.
It was at the top of looked like the first elevator and then to the right.
Yeah, and Patrick is going to be able to... I'm curious at this point, if he finds the glove is here, does he even finish this 6, or does he just reset and go do 1 and 2?
Well,
that answers that question.
Wow. Well, this is a bit of a turnaround here.
Yeah, I thought the Trails is, still at a significant advantage because, if the item was really deep into that 6, it's going to take Patrick 10 plus minutes to go look for it, which would at least give Trails a little bit of time to finish his checks and catch up on stuff and figure out what's going on. But with it being right at the start, Patrick has got to be in the driver's seat now.
Yeah, he is ready to go. He's going to go into this 2, take care of this 2, assuming it's not too much of a troll. 2 can be, but not really. I mean, Helmet, we've already got the item, so he's only got one location, one direction to start with, and 3 others already exhausted, I believe. And so Helmet Head can't be that deep into the palace at this point. And then, of course, Horsehead also cannot be that deep into a palace, P1 being our smallest palace. Oh, well, jeez.
Yep, it's gonna be one of those at this point.
Well, you do hope that GP is a little bit of a challenge, regardless of who takes it. You hate to see it. Well, at least I would hate to see that we walk into GP and Darklink is 2 rooms in, and no glove required or anything like that. Kind of a letdown when it comes to GPs that end up
Patrick
that way.
Thinking about burning this gem. We saw the pause there, but he decided against it. And 8 bars Magic 6 gonna be. I didn't catch what Thunder is, but I don't think it's possible it's uncastable at this level.
Yeah, was that a magic level that Patrick just picked up with that?
It
gem
was. That
placement?
was Magic 6. So probably going to get life here and then finish on 5, 6, 7, which is a very safe set of levels for runners of this caliber.
Yeah, he probably definitely wanted to see. He probably wanted to see if how far fire came down for abusing fire fairies and what we will likely see in our GP.
Oh, that wasn't Fire Fairy. Oh no, sorry, that was actually just Heart of Thunder there. I saw 2 quick thunders, but you could actually just cast 2 thunders at this level.
Trail's about to get the bad news. He's thinking Hammer Cave or P6. Those are his 2 locations left. And
yeah.
I think he's hoping that Karak is not glove blocked. Speaking of items here. Oh.
I believe that is the item, but Patrick feels no need to go pick it up.
Yeah, I don't really blame him at this point. I mean, the best it could be is a heart container, but it could also be the magic key or the child. Keys are already in the drop pool, so any doors in GP are going to be handled. And the child, contrary to what Slamu wants us to do in chat, he says we should always save the child. This time around, we don't need to save the child, actually, because we already had the spell from Darunia. So, child not in play.
Yeah, I mean, once Ganon is defeated and peace is returned to the land, the child can just walk home. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. Very defensive Horsehead, guarding the pedestal here in P1.
Yeah, he's got, 2 ears, 2 stabs. Works for me.
I don't...
Yeah, a little curious what Patrick is going back for at this point. Maybe he changed his mind about that item room?
He might be taking a page out of my book. I'm quite the cartographer. I'm quite the map maker. Maybe he wants to just do a full clear P1 for funsies.
Right, changes his mind again. Maybe what that might have been is I saw a menu check there. He may have had a key further back into the palace that he wanted to backtrack and get, but he gave it a pause and realized that he's not going to do it. I don't know if he has 1 key or 2, whether he's going to have one after completing this, but.
Yeah, worst case scenario, we know they're in the drop pool as well. So if you have to step out of GP and do a little grinding there just outside of GP or something in the forest, that's a thing. Not a thing you want to do, but it's a thing you can do. If they're in the small enemy drop pool, I don't remember whether they're a large or small enemy drop pool. If there's a small enemy drop pool, you will be able to find them in GP. But I don't believe there's a single enemy in the large enemy drop pool when it comes to GP.
Yeah, I think the keys are in large, but I might be wrong.
I thought so too, but it's been a while and I really wasn't paying attention. Just know keys are out there somewhere.
Yeah, so our GP is a shortened GP, but shortened is, of course, as always, in quotes, because it can be extremely long. Or not.
Just shy of the 56-minute mark, coming up, barrier up into GP for Big Picket, and Trail's placing his 3rd gem as well. Knowing that his glove is in either P6 or Hammer Cave, as far as he knows.
We'll have to keep an eye out for glove blocks here as we go. I think, like I was saying, it's possible the Trails could. No, he's going to go look for that glove. I don't blame him.
First elevator, Dark Link? I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, every elevator, every time you go up, you're like, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Nope, just a left.
All right. So the first elevator has 2 lefts, one at the top, one at the second to top, and then right at the bottom.
Patrick doing a little bit of a non-meta play, taking the bottom right instead of the top right.
Bogos in this room are some of my favorite. This is it's always fun to fight these guys.
Oh yeah, and by fight you mean get dunked.
There's a way. There's your key in the small enemy drop pool. Perfect. Okay.
Okay, so that's gonna give Patrick his safety for pretty much the only available remaining block. Although it is, I think it is possible to have 2 of that room. I don't think I've ever seen it before, but
I don't know if I've ever seen it either, but don't know why it's not possible unless it's specifically coded not to be possible, but I would imagine it's possible because Randomizer likes to do things like that. So our first glove block, our second glove block, we did just come from a downstab room block. If this is the way.
Still plenty of available blocks from that elevator, though not necessarily glove blocked yet.
Trail's finding Hammer Cave, and unfortunately going to find the bad news and then know that it is in P6. And that's going to feel even worse because he was in P6 to begin with and dipped out of there.
Yeah, if he had gotten the glove the first time he was there, almost certainly he'd be done by now.
Yeah.
But if he, goes straight from here to P6 and there's not that much to check for him, he still could be in here with, only about a 5-minute disadvantage. We've definitely seen runners catch up from far worse coming into GP.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I would say with these resources that I think Patrick is just going to be able to keep cruising, and unless there's like a hidden left somewhere that he's not going to take right away and trails gambles, Big Picket is probably going to have a lot of exploration benefit here.
Yeah, I think the only big way to catch up would be take one of those lefts on the first elevator. Still a couple of options that could potentially pay off big, but Patrick's going to have quite a bit of exploration advantage.
Trails, unfortunately, finding his 8th magic container there in Hammer Cave, headed out. Oh no! There it is. Glove required, I guess. Yes.
Yep.
Unless there's some other hidden.
I don't think we saw another way in.
Yeah, Royal with Cheese pointing out Thunder not required here. Just a glove block, a few glove blocks, and that's going to be it for Big Picket. GG's in chat. That is going to be it for the Max Rando Tournament here. A new winner will take the crown /belt /trophy.
Yeah, and save on shipping costs in the process.
Yes.
And just over an hour, Big Picket Patrick is our champion.
Yeah, having that slower start in the beginning, Trails placing one gem, quite a good bit before Patrick was able to, but that glove was key at this point, and Patrick was the first one to find it. And the easier palaces that were glove blocked were easily taken care of, P2 and then P1. And that was right into GP. Everything else was explored at that point. There was nothing else to find, and it was just simply go mode and get into GP and go. And Big Picker was able to do that first.
Checking with the runners for coming in for an interview in just a second.
Yeah, a little discussion in the race room here.
Yeah, as Cobra mentioned in chat, going from Invitational Champion to the Max Rando Champion, definitely a huge improvement. And, Max Rando can do a lot of things, but GG's definitely to both of our runners.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, like I was just talking with Trails, and I got lucky this time again, but it's a good game for everybody, I think. So, congratulations to Trails, and I'm pretty happy right now.
Yeah, I'm sure. That could. We were talking, and we were saying it probably didn't feel too good placing your first gem at something like the 40 whatever minute mark.
Yeah, we were just saying that. I think we both got down to like P5 and P6 left, and I picked P6 to dig, and that kind of made the difference. So
Yeah, traiLZ unfortunately was in 6
Yeah.
quite early and dug most of it. Got the gem and just didn't find the item. And then, unfortunately, once you reset out of there, you're just gonna last location it, and that's what happened.
yeah, that sucks. That's how I
And-
lost to, or not how I lost, but that happened to me in the first match I ever played against him. I left something in the Maze Island Palace and last location did, and finished an hour behind him. So, you know, phew. I-
Yeah. So the early game, it was pretty much neck and neck. I think traiLZ had probably a bit of an edge there. He did place a gem in P5 pretty early on, before ever heading east. And he did show us that. No, he didn't show us what the item was in P5 until later. I think it
No,
was. It was a blue jar.
Yeah, I think he found I think he went in, got the clear, and then came back and got the blue jar. But
I think, yeah, something like that. But you, Patrick, you were out. Obviously, you saw what we now know was 3 was glove blocked. traiLZ was there first. He saw the glove block and showed us that. Then you were in there. You saw the glove block. Then you were the first to find the east, actually. And then you made your way through the east for a few minutes before traiLZ made it there eventually. And you saw 1 and 2 were both glove blocked. So from your perspective, 3, 2, and 1, all glove blocked. P5 was the only other thing that you had available. And so you just kept exploring. I imagine there were still some overworld spots to dig out and look through. And you exhausted those before exhausting palaces. And I think that's ultimately what helped here, is that you knew not to leave the palaces early. Whereas on traiLZ's side, he was in P6 a good bit earlier than you were, and found Barba, but then looked around for the item for a little bit, and then it looked like he was in there for nearing like 8 to 10 minutes at that point. He was out of there, and of course, as Ellendar just pointed out, that's you're likely the last location at that point, especially with it being so far away on Maze Island. And so when you did 4 and it wasn't there, you knew that, okay, Maze Island, that's it. It's either on Maze Island or it's in the palace on Maze Island. And that was all you had left to check. So you were not going anywhere. You were finding that glove, and you knew where GP was at that point. And it was just simply go mode once you had that glove. And it wasn't even that deep in P6. It was P6 was a maze, but I think it was the first elevator all the way up and then right. And there was the Rebenek item room, and that was it. It was so quick for you to find that item. Whereas unfortunately traiLZ was digging around for a good bit in P6 and just unable to find it. And then again, dipped out of there.
yeah, I've just been super lucky this game. I think I found the path through Great Palace on my first go. I don't think I hit a single dead end.
Yeah.
Same thing with P6, like you were just saying. So the chips just fell really nicely for me.
Yeah, and then making the decision to jump out of 6, go back to start, knowing the rav tile was easily accessible, hit up 2, hit up 1. They're sitting right next to each other. They're going to probably be easier than 6. You could have spent a good chunk of time looking for a dragon in 6. That would have been frustrating to find. And luckily enough, the first elevator that was glove locked there in 2 led right to Helmet Head, and then of course P1, being such a small palace, Horsehead not that far in there. And that was it. Then it was into GP, and like you said, first choice. It's always weird to do that, but I mean, it is just gambling on whichever direction you pick, and it just so happened to be just hold right.
Yeah, sometimes it comes down to that. Max Rando really is about getting lucky sometimes. So
yeah, I mean, for sure, Max Rando has a high random component, to be sure. But to have won so many races in a row, coming out, undefeated on the brackets, winners finals all the way to winning the grand finals. It's, I have to say the majority is almost certainly your very excellent play this tournament. So congratulations again.
thank you. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. Thank you. And thanks you guys for commentating, and Alan for running the tournament. This was a lot of fun, and looking forward to the next one.
Definitely.
We were saying earlier that if I recall, you're the person who manufactures the trophies.
I get to keep one.
Yeah, we were saying to save on shipping costs. I'm sure you'll share pictures of those once they're all set.
Yeah, I put one in the MR General channel, I think. Last week. Yeah.
Now you just have to put your name on one of them.
Well, everyone. I am sure that you have had one heck of a run. This has been topsy-turvy. Grant you, it was, 98.36% less chickens in the GP, but congratulations to our champion Patrick. GG's to traiLZ. I also want to thank our hosts with the most, Ellen, Dart, and Mirai. And Mirai will one day play one of my Plando seeds, because he just loves the game. And thank you to our tracker extraordinaire, Royale with Cheese. But most of all, thank you to our wonderful chat and all the video on demand viewers for giving us the opportunity to entertain you. So, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up. As you guys know, what's coming up next is the Zelda 2 Weekly. Zelda 2 Weekly is always, a hoot. So I really hope you guys turn in for that. As for tomorrow, we do have, actually, do we have anything? Yes, we do. No, we have nothing. Wow. On May 19th at 2:10 p.m., we have the Skyward Sword Randomizer Co-op Tournament. Again, that's going to be Ragtag Yag versus Eminem. And that will be at 2:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and at 6:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have a link to the past Challenge Cup Group P tiebreaker. Dane 8373 versus Pryor 57 versus Breve. So that's going to be something to watch for our link to the Pastaholics. And I'm going to be sending you guys off to watch a little thing called Skyward Sword. And that's going to be on Zelda Speedruns too. So I hope you guys really enjoyed tonight. Great game between our champion elites with our champion elite comm team. So, on behalf of Zelda Speedruns, this is Krista Joy signing off for all of you, and I hope you enjoy some Zelda 2 until we come back later with the Zelda Weekly. Take care and have a wonderful evening.